Limitless Wrestling fans, we are back. What is going on, everyone? The Limitless Wrestling Podcast returns after its season hiatus. You know, Randy Carver, the czar of Limitless Wrestling, he's here with me. It's like when a TV show, they complete their season, they take a couple months, and then you get the new season. It's all about it's all about the chase, you know?
It absolutely is. We got to leave them hanging for a little bit, I guess. But I'm very happy to be back. Honestly, our lives get pretty chaotic, so taping this sometimes is very tough to do, like just working out a schedule to figure it out. But having, a month plus or so where we haven't been recording, it's felt kind of weird, John, honestly. And even though, it's tough to hear your voice week by week, for an hour a week, I can stand it, and I have a lot of fun with this podcast, so I'm glad to be back.
Well, my gut tells me you're going to be hearing even more of my voice in the coming months as far as Limitless Wrestling goes. So that's just an inclination that I have, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's not like we've been sitting here on our butts not doing anything for Limitless Wrestling, because we've been quite busy, as a matter of fact. In fact, part of the reason that you didn't get podcasts for a couple months here was because of the other work that we were doing for Limitless Wrestling, which included our massive 5-year anniversary show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We got some fan interaction on there, some of the wrestlers in Limitless Wrestling as well. We counted down the top 10 fan-voted moments in Limitless Wrestling history. Just an awesome way to still get everybody involved in a time when we obviously can't celebrate 5 years of Limitless in person. But I really enjoyed it. It's up for free, youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling. I think by the time this releases, it'll be available on independentwrestling.tv as well. So a couple different places you can stream that. Facebook.com/Limitless Wrestling as well. Definitely check that out. It's a long one, but I think definitely worth it. We plugged in a lot of honorable mentions as well, to just try to flood it with as many fun moments in Limitless history as we could think of. But I also want to thank everybody for voting, because quite a response from everybody, as we were just looking for other alternatives to celebrate 5 years.
Yeah, and it was fun to take a trip down memory lane with the cast and crew that we had on that one of which was Harry Aaron, who hopefully will get on the podcast here soon, because he was busy at work as well.
Yeah, Harry, always busting his ass. He actually just started, I want to plug his Twitch account, Third Harry, because he just started a new little series for anyone looking to shoot with video, audio, for promos, for pictures, for lighting, a lot of different tips of the trade, and it's all free. So check that out as well. But Harry put together an amazing documentary, his first full-length documentary on the life and times, the career and independent wrestling of Anthony Green. And I have to say the waterworks came out for me when watching it. Just very special, because I think anyone who's been a longtime fan of Limitless Wrestling knows exactly what Anthony Green means to everything that we've become. Such a huge part of everything we've done since day one. And to have Harry there, who has documented Anthony Green since 2011, but documented him in Limitless Wrestling since the very first year, it was very special. It meant a lot. And, it's a different, I think it hits a different side of emotions when you have someone behind the camera who has an emotional attachment with who they're shooting. Yeah, like, he knows Anthony Green. They're very close friends, have been for a long time. So I think it just adds a little extra spice on top of everything.
Well, it's no longer Anthony Green, Randy Carver. It's now August Gray, because Anthony Green did start with NXT and 205 Live during our little hiatus here, and in the process relinquished the Limitless Wrestling Championship at the end of the road season 1, leaving the title in abeyance.
How crazy is that?
A lot to take in there.
It's an incredible dream come true for Anthony Green to be finally wrestling on the highest level.
And they're using him. And they're using him. He's right there in the mix of things.
Right off the bat, which, I always wonder when people get signed, because I look at someone like a Dijak, who kind of sat in limbo for some time. Really, like you wonder how long it's going to take with people, or what the repackage is going to be. But this is pretty authentic. This is very, similar to the Anthony Green that we've been seeing, the metamorphosis of him, I guess, over the past year and a half. It's all come to a head, and very cool to see him not only on NXT 205 Live as well, just popping up seemingly twice a week recently.
Yeah, he and Kurt Stallion are fun to watch together.
Yeah. I was happy for Kurt too, because Kurt, the really good group that was brought in recently, and to see like the confidence that WWE must have in them to put them on TV immediately is very cool.
No doubt about it, but that leaves the Limitless Wrestling Championship vacant. And we've been seeing people slug it out on the road season 2, trying to make names for themselves. But this past week on the road, we saw a major announcement, did we not?
We did. The 2020 Vacationland Cup, which I think a lot of people expected when July came and passed that it was not going to happen, is actually going to happen this December, and it's going to crown a new Limitless Wrestling World Champion. So no longer for the trophy, at least for this year, it's for the Limitless Wrestling World Championship. First time that's happened. 8 competitors going to duke it out, 4 singles matches leading to a fatal 4-way elimination match to crown the champion. It will stream on IWTV. You'll be getting a set date very soon, so you can keep up with all the socials, because I think starting this week, we're going to start announcing the participants, the 8 participants that are going to be a part of this tournament. And it's really come together very nicely. Like, I think it's pretty close to what we were shooting for this past July. Obviously, we didn't have everything set in stone because, it was March when everything went haywire. But this is fairly close to the Vacationland Cup that I was hoping to present in July. So that's exciting. A lot of fun stuff coming on that show. It's our first full show, really, in terms of presentation that we've had since February.
So why make the decision to do that?
Well, we've gone through 2 seasons of the road now. I think we have a very good grasp on how to conduct ourselves with these tapings, what to do in terms of precaution. We've had success with both of them, and it's a sad realization that things are not going to change soon. There's not going to be a point very soon where we have the fans in there, we have the atmosphere we're looking for, we have a real deal Limitless Wrestling experience, and I don't want to wait because we have the opportunity where we can give them that, at least in a digital form, in terms of streaming on IWTV or DVD. And it's a tough time right now. A lot of people are going through a lot in terms of mental health, in terms of just lives in general, because so much has changed. So if we can bring a little bright spot in the world of Limitless Wrestling to people's lives on top of the road, I'd love to do that, because I think a lot of people have been eager to see a full Limitless show in action once again, and I really want to bring it to them as soon as we can. And I said from the start, because we taped the close to season 1 with Anthony Green relinquishing the title, really not knowing what his future was going to entail. As you can imagine, everything's fucking messy in the world of COVID, including signing a contract with WWE. Things take a long time, so we just didn't know. And at that point, I was saying, I think, even with season 2, we didn't touch anything with season 2 in terms of the championship. And I wanted to wait it out to have a time frame where we could have people, fill the Yarmouth Ambets Hall and have that tournament for the championship. But it's not going to happen that way soon. And I don't know if waiting is the right thing to do anymore. So we're gonna bring a real deal Limitless experience this December and crown a new champion and go from there.
And that's why it's so important that fans really get behind this, because if you like this, maybe that opens the door for other shows similar to this, where we can provide an experience that is somewhat authentic to what a Limitless Wrestling show would look like, but in maybe a different and innovative way.
Yeah, it's all going to base around fan support with something like this, because we are really going all out with this, as we would on a normal show. So there's going to be options for you to support in terms of merchandise packages. We have an awesome poster that Dave Cole went to work on that's going to be available. Danger Kid also has one coming out that's going to be available. We are going to have, just like every year, a Vacationland Cup t-shirt, including the participants. That's going to be available as well. So there's going to be different tiers, as well as an option. And we've never done this before, but with a scenario like this, where it's obviously no paying fans, and when we're talking live events, selling tickets is kind of the bread and butter of that, to be able to, cover your bases and keep moving forward. So we're going to offer a sponsor, a wrestler option to Limitless fans who would like to select a wrestler, maybe throw towards their booking fee. And if we do get the support, not only with that, with merchandise packages, with sponsoring a wrestler, but with people tuning in, with people watching on IWTV, if we have that support and we're able to do this more often, we certainly will. Like, there's a chance that this could be a quickly reoccurring thing, that if we have the support to do it. So regardless, I mean, this one's going to happen no matter what. And I'm very excited for it. And it'll probably plant some seeds for season 3 of The Road, which I assume, with the way that the world is working right now, I assume season 3 is going to be a thing. So, but yeah, that's where we're at right now. I mean, taking things day by day, as always, because things can change all the time. But that's where we're at right now.
This is effectively a relaunch of Limitless Wrestling.
That's exactly, dude. Like, I said that to someone the other day, those very words. We're literally back to stage 1, which is, it's so exciting to me, because, like, it's a clean slate, but we have so many solidified people already. And it's so fucking exciting, dude. I'm very excited to have this tournament and to just move forward with Limitless Wrestling, to give people more to sink their teeth into. The road has been awesome, though. The support we've been receiving from new fans, old fans, people who have taken the time to tune in and are investing in the new wrestlers, because there's a lot of new wrestlers on this series who people have not seen before if they're only tuning into Limitless Wrestling. So we've had such an awesome support from everybody on that show. So I want to say thank you for that as well.
Well, now we got some major stakes on the line. And for those curious, this will not just be the Vacationland Cup matches. This will be a full card with undercard matches as well. So you are going to be getting a full Limitless Wrestling pay-per-view experience here, the first of its kind in actuality. And there's no way I can get you to reveal one person in the cup here, Randy, as a good tease to get people to stay tuned? Or are they going to have to wait it out?
All I can tell you is there's going to be an article dropping on limitlesswrestling.com. Probably by the time this releases, it'll already be there. Johnny Torres analyzing the Vacationland Cup reveal video that dropped in last week's episode of The Road. I can tell you that Johnny Torres got a couple participants right. That's the teaser I'm going to give you. There's a couple participants in that video, but maybe not everyone, and obviously not everyone included in the video, it will be in the cup. So go take a look at that video, maybe make some picks. We put a tweet up. I want to know who people are thinking for the 8 participants who deserve a shot at the Limitless Wrestling World Championship. It's a pretty big opportunity to be out there. So I think by the time that we talk next week, John, we'll at least be able to talk about 3.
I've seen the field for this. It's an incredible field. It's a great mix of names, and there are going to be some matches here that have a chance to really open some eyes, and I'm really excited for that. I've been able to help pitch along with this brainstorming process for the Vacationland Cup, and I think it's going to be an exceptional event. It's going to be one that is going to have a lot of people talking, and we're also going to try to come up with some ways where not only are you going to be able to watch it on IWTV, but maybe that you guys will be able to watch it together, too, in the process. So we're going to try to come up with ways to really make this as authentic of a Limitless Wrestling experience as we can, and do something really cool here that Maine Wrestling has probably never seen before.
I would assume you're correct there. I think when we did the live stream at Twilight Zone, I think that's the first time that anything to that nature has been done in a live streaming format. So this, where it's, we're taping this ahead of time, we're presenting it late December. I think it's going to be the weekend before Christmas. I just don't want to say a particular date and have it be wrong, but pretty sure we're looking at the weekend before Christmas for this to air. So it'll be a nice little present to our Limitless Wrestling fans.
What a great gift. What a great gift. And there will be plenty of things to talk about in the coming weeks as we approach that. But let's talk about the road, because we haven't really had a chance to go over the road season 2 here so far. What have been some of the standouts from these 4 episodes that we've seen so far?
I think, and I loved the road season 1, but we were kind of, with the road season 1 and with the Pandemic at the Dojo series, I think we're kind of feeling out what it's like to shoot something that's going to be presented in like a weekly television format. It's certainly a step outside of anything that we've ever done before. It's always, with Limitless Wrestling, primarily been show by show. So to go to kind of tighten that up into a week by week format, it's been a lot of fun, but it's been a learning curve as well. But I think with season 2, I'm very confident that we've taken like a few steps forward, and not only with production and putting this together. Harry Aaron has had a lot of good tips on the promo side of things. He's shooting a majority of those, but the wrestling as well. I think a lot of people now have had at least a couple matches back, and not only that, but they just came to play. Every single person seemingly having some of the best matches they've had in quite some time. I look back at episode 1, a real coming out party for Becca against Ashley Vox, an incredible match to kick off season 2. After watching it, I knew I didn't want any other match kicking it off. Channing Thomas as well in that episode, looking absolutely the best I've ever seen him. And he's been like a mainstay in our sister promotion, Let's Wrestle, for it's got to be over a year at this point. Channing Thomas hitting on another level. Alexander Lee and B.A. Tatum, an absolute fight. Christian Casanova and Rip Bison. This was one of Ripper's, true tests. He had a couple in season 1 with Ace Romero and Eric Johnson, but Christian Casanova, when we left things off for Limitless Wrestling earlier this year, he was one win away from getting a shot at Anthony Green for the Limitless Wrestling World Championship. He had to go through Red Death Daniel Garcia. That never happened, but he was right on his way. So a big test for Rip Bison coming up short. That entire episode available on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling. Tyree Taylor as well. Have you seen this match, John?
No, I did not see this one, but I saw people talking about it.
I would tell everyone listening to this, go out of your way, watch Alec Price and Tyree Taylor. Alec Price, too, I hate to give the fucker props, but he has just built himself. I didn't like Alec Price at first. I think I've said that before.
He's a masshole. He's a masshole in every way.
I just didn't know. He's one of those dudes I just didn't know about. And once I talked to him the first time, I just started to realize who he was and what he was about. And he's legitimately one of my favorite people at this point. I hate to say it about the dude again. He's a mongrel, but he's built himself from someone who was only considered because he was there at our Let's Wrestle shows, to within 6 months having probably one of, if not the best feud in the company with CJ Cruz. The two of them going from Let's Wrestle to Limitless Wrestling to a pre-show. And I don't think there's been a show since that pre-show match that the two of them have not been on. Alec Price now, instead of being the guy who is being welcomed to Limitless Wrestling 1 year later, is now welcoming someone like Tyree Taylor. And just a really fun match. Main event quality, Limitless Wrestling show quality, I would say. And Tyree's got some big matches coming up on season 2. So get acquainted with Tyree Taylor. I assume you're going to be hearing about him a lot in Limitless Wrestling, but another all-star performance from Alec Price.
Certainly.
Love Doug. Everybody loves Love Doug.
Yeah, Love Doug's had an interesting go here.
Dude, he's been another one who, I think he'd be on every there's an awesome carload from I'm going to put over Matt Taven and his wrestling school in Rhode Island, because Love Doug, Waves and Curls, Mike Gamble, all showing out within the first 2 seasons of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, other than Mike Gamble, because he's obviously had a history in Limitless Wrestling, I didn't know much at all about Doug or Waves and Curls until we started doing these little mini series, and they've blown me away. Love Doug, an awesome match with Davien on episode 2. He's been providing some of the funniest promo packages I think we've had in the series. And just people are taking to him. Like they're doing their job. And just really fun stuff from Love Doug.
I'll tell you, one match that I felt was a little under the radar, but I really enjoyed was BRG and Zach Burton.
Oh, hell yeah. I specifically put that one together. I wanted Zach Burton to kind of come show out. And there was a few people at that taping that I knew he would come and have a banger match with, and I thought BRG would be one of them. I think they've crossed paths a couple times in IWE back in the day, but I think both of them are excelling at the highest level that they have, like right now. BRG is, I just think, really understanding what he brings to the table, and he has a comfortability in there that he hasn't had before, picking up a big victory in his, I guess this would be his official Limitless Wrestling debut because he was not on season 1. So big win there over Zach Burton. I don't even want to look ahead to episode 3 because I know you're going to have a lot to say. So should I just hand it over?
No, we'll get to that. I wanted to give one more shout real quick to the Apostles of Chaos, who I called some of their stuff in Synergy, and I really enjoy watching Logan Black and Chris Benet work as a team.
Yeah, they've come a long way too. I've seen them a few times actually throughout like the world of Blitzkrieg Pro and just online, but they were at I believe they did one of our first studio tapings that we did at the Limitless Dojo. And I was pretty excited when Johnny Torres said that they were interested in coming up for season 2. A lot of fun matches from them on the horizon. Chris Benet was actually just on this past week's episode in singles action, and we're going to get to Logan Black's match that's coming up this Wednesday in just a second. But a real fun tag match with Sean Phoenix and Andrew Palace here. Sean Phoenix is actually a really fun story. Angela, who's a part of our crew on live events, she had this awesome idea to create like a little fund with our intermission raffles, where the proceeds of that will go to either an injured wrestler or a fan in need, or someone who's close to home within the independent wrestling community who needs help. And I thought that was a fucking killer idea. So one of the ones that we did last year was for Sean Phoenix, who was injured on a dive to the outside very badly.
Yeah.
Had to take a lot of time off. So it was cool to, come full circle and actually be able to work with him on a Limitless Wrestling show where there was a point where Sean Phoenix obviously, didn't know if he was going to be able to wrestle ever again. So he came up, had a very fun matches, both of which already available on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling if you'd like to check them out.
So what was that point you wanted to make about episode 3?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it, and Eric Johnson keeps his streak alive, defeating Mike Gamble.
Yeah, that's great. Yep.
Very cool to see Mike Gamble, another person coming full circle. He was a manager for Tyler Nitro back in the first year of Limitless, to those who remember.
Wasn't he the one who was beat up by Eric Greenleaf? By Joey Gleitz, rather?
Yes. The video that went around a little bit like a month ago where the bigger gentleman swings at Joey Gleitz. Joey ducks out of the way and pops him. That's Mike Gamble.
We know Eric Greenleaf couldn't do that to anybody, so my apologies.
I don't think Eric Greenleaf has a good right swing. I just don't. I have not seen him get into any quarrels like that. But, Ilya Markopoulos, ZPB, a hard-hitting contest. Christian Casanova notches his second straight victory on the road, defeating Davien in the main event. I think I got everything right.
Oh, do you? You think you got everything, huh? How about the main attraction, Mac Daniels, bringing the hurt to Kennedy Copeland? And you know what, Randy? I got so freaking fed up with people overlooking this match. First off, let's talk about what Mac Daniels had to say after all this, shutting Ethan Scott's face up right in his own face. Mac Daniels, man, I've been waiting for this guy to show the confidence that and the swagger that I knew that he had. I knew he had it because I've known Mac Daniels a long time. When he got there backstage and told the world that he's not an outlier, but he's the outlier in Limitless Wrestling, that he's not an independent pro wrestler. He is a sports entertainer who deserves to be signed on the biggest stage. There's nothing in that, Randy, that is a lie. You and I have talked about this. There's nothing there that's a lie. This is a guy who belongs under the bright lights at WrestleMania or under a Full Gear or at the Hammerstein Ballroom for Ring of Honor. This is a guy who belongs on that stage. And he goes there, and Kennedy Copeland tries to act all, I'm the underdog, and tries to be quick with some, I saw her try to stretch him out. I was like, are you kidding me? Like Kennedy Copeland, with all due respect, I like Kennedy Copeland, but she's trying to stretch out Mac Daniels.
She almost tapped him out. What are you talking about?
Almost tapped him out. Okay. Almost. And then him using that ring awareness because Mac Daniels watches the highest stage and he has studied Ric Flair at nauseum and knows what the ultimate sports entertainers are capable of doing in those high pressure situations, reaching for the ropes, stacking up Candy Copeland. You may call it cheating. I just call it trying. And obviously, Mac Daniels hasn't gotten the respect from you or from anyone else out there. So he gave me a call. He said, John, I want to take the next step here. I want to make our working relationship even more official. And he signed me, Randy, as his agent. Who better to represent him than an Emmy Award winning, oh, and by the way, we haven't talked about this, an Emmy Award nominated, for the second time, journalist, to serve as his agent.
Yeah. Let's just rewind. You're talking about ring positioning. If he had stacked her up center of the ring, he might have got a clean victory without using the ropes. And then I may give him some credit.
1, 2, 3. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Sure.
Wasn't Greenleaf the ref for that?
Yes.
So what else would you expect from this?
Hey, we'll have to get him on here and talk about it.
I don't want to do that.
The movement. Here's the deal. I will finally allow you to bring Mac Daniels on the podcast if I can bring Eric Greenleaf.
Fine.
That's the deal.
But acknowledge what he's in store for.
Oh, I know full well what he's in store for, and that's my entertainment. I think that's the entertainment of the episode. I've got some questions for Eric Greenleaf myself, but he's going to have to answer for this.
Okay. Fine.
But here's the thing. I can't put all the blame on Eric Greenleaf. Your boy got away with one. People do. But can he keep that up?
You're ignoring everything that I'm talking about. What I'm saying is this is a guy who's clearly not appreciated in Limitless Wrestling. He's not an independent wrestler. And
what are you talking about? He just got here.
There's nothing wrong with not being an indie guy, per se. Especially when we always talk about a great gimmick, a great character is your authentic self, and that is Mac Daniels. So, when we talk about putting him in a Limitless Wrestling ring again, I'm not so sure that that's the best route forward for him. He obviously enjoys performing in front of this audience that doesn't deserve to look at him, but maybe something's got to change about this. I mean,
if you have bigger aspirations for him, call your boy TK and get him signed. It's your job now, you're his agent.
And I don't think that I haven't done that. Don't think I haven't made those calls. We've seen Limitless Wrestling talent all over AEW Dark, like on a weekly basis. It's pretty cool.
It is.
But what I'm saying here, Randy, is this guy is a sports entertainer, and he's already established himself on your program. But if you expect him to just go in there against indie guys and just do those 450 splashes and big chops and try to get that cheap pop from a crowd, that's not Mac Daniels. And since you don't allow me to be there under the Limitless Wrestling banner because of some stupid stipulation that you wrote on a Post-it note to me, well then maybe we got to pursue some other options here.
Okay, bud. I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see what you have to say.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Very much so, as a matter of fact. And you saw me on episode 4, and by God, did I look handsome.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you're weaseling into everything once again. It feels like your first avenue
You
into Limitless
realize I'm up for
Wrestling.
another Emmy, correct? Like, you're
So
ignoring
that means
this.
just all systems go, right?
It just means that I'm really damn good at what I do and I'm capable of finding my way into things.
Yeah, you
Okay?
did. You found your way into episode 4. You analyzed
That was a
the
great
cheating nature
breakdown.
of your boy.
That was a great breakdown. That
Yeah,
fallaway slam would have made JBL jealous.
it could have.
It did. Anyway, episode 4 had some interesting stuff. You decided to go outside the box and bring in a couple different championships.
Yeah, this was a really fun episode. And an interpromotional invasion is what we called it. We had our friends from Blitzkrieg Pro. We had our friends from Kaiju Big Battle. The first ever Blitzkrieg Bedlam Championship match in a Limitless Ring. Bobby Orlando able to retain against the Hermit Crab, Sean Phoenix, and Chris Benet. The Kaiju Big Battle Grand Championship was on the line. Our first ever look at the American Beetle as he defended against Perry Von Vicious. Unfortunately, Dr. Cube coming out, stealing the Grand Championship mid-match. I believe we're going to get some information on Dr. Cube and the American Beetle this week on the road as well. And then we had a big Limitless Dojo debut. The girl on fire, Jessie Nolan, losing her debut, but what a valiant effort against her trainer, Danger Kid. I've literally watched Jessie Nolan from day one, 15-month journey to get to her first match, but what a hectic ride, and what a ride that was well worth it for her. I think a killer debut match, better than a lot that I've seen. Still a lot of work to be done, but it's pretty cool to have her on the team. Very fun match with Danger Kid. And then our main event, Rip Bison, ZPB. Just a hard-hitting fight here. Rip Bison finally getting himself back on track. Kind of went on a skid at the end of season 1, heading into season 2 with a big match against Casanova and losing that one as well. So this was a much-needed victory for Ripper to get back on track. Defeating ZPB, his first loss in Limitless Wrestling, but what a war that was. I would definitely suggest going to check that one out if you have not.
Now, that sets us up for episode 5. In episode 5, there's some pretty cool matchups. I particularly enjoy Logan Black and the idea of him just putting the hurt on Candy Copeland here.
I'm sure you do. I guess you're soured on Kennedy Copeland because she almost tapped out your boy. But yeah, this Kennedy Copeland, as you saw after losing to Mac Daniels, kind of in the dumps about it, realizing she may need to change her game plan because, she had 2 victories on season 1, both of which via submission. Maybe that's not the way for her to go right now. And she wanted a little bit of chaos, and she's got it. What a task put in front of her with the King of Chaos, Logan Black, one half of the Apostles of Chaos. His first taste of singles action here on the road. And, quite an opponent. Regardless of Kennedy coming off a loss, virtually untouchable in season 1 of the road, as well as the Pandemic at the Dojo series. So I'm very interested. Kind of a mismatch, though, if you're just looking at it for the first time with no context. So I think Kennedy's going to have quite a war ahead of her with Logan Black, but I can never count her out.
What else we got in this episode? I see we got Dylan Nix, who's been all over the Limitless promotional material lately.
Yeah, Dylan Nix with a giveaway a couple weeks ago on the road. He's teaming up with fellow Limitless Dojo student Connor Hex, only his second appearance ever on the road. And they're colliding with a team really needing a victory to get back on track. That's the competition. Champ Matthews, Connor Murphy, 2 losses in season 1, but I really think they put the tag team division on notice, even in losing efforts. An exceptional match with the, at the time, Limitless World Champion Anthony Green and Ace Romero. I would highly suggest checking that one out on YouTube. Colliding with the Stigma, Eric Johnson and Brandino Davis as well. Johnson has been virtually untouchable with his streak, so I can't really blame him on either loss there. But now they're really starting at the bottom of the tag team division because Dylan Nix and Connor Hex are 2 Limitless Dojo students, eager for an opportunity, eager to prove themselves, and I think they're taking a good approach here. Teaming up, they're 2 dudes who know each other well. They've been training together at least 9 months at the dojo. So by this point, they kind of know each other like the back of their hands. So a victory meaning just as much to them as it would the competition for Dylan Nix and Connor Hex to kind of solidify themselves here on the road. And speaking of Eric Johnson, he's going to be back in action this week. He's putting the streak on the line. He's 10-0 in his last 10 matches, 6-0 here on the road. Just unparalleled, untouchable. And I'm very excited to see who's going to step up this week. He's left it open to the locker room. So this is an open challenge out there right now by Eric Johnson. We'll see if someone accepts by Wednesday. And a very interesting story behind this Trayvon Jordan-Steve Somerset match. Both of these dudes, one half of a tag team regularly. Trayvon Jordan, one half of Waves and Curls with Jalen Brandon. Steve Somerset, one half of Even Stevens with Steven Azor. Steven Azor was actually injured at these tapings. So I would highly suggest, if you want to support Even Stevens, seek out their merchandise stores or follow them on social media. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing Steven Azor on this season, but Steve Somerset came to play on day 2, knew it was going to be in singles action. That's a lot to grasp when you've really sunk your entire career into tag team wrestling. So it's two guys who are in a similar situation, both new to singles action, both haven't really done it very much. So we'll see who takes one step forward here on season 2 moving forward.
And all that will be streamed on IWTV, Facebook, and YouTube. There were some technical issues this past week, but we're hopefully going to be nipping that in the bud.
Yeah, so multiple platforms, IWTV, YouTube, Facebook, all at the same time, 7 p.m. this Wednesday. If you want to sign up for IWTV, you can see all the past episodes in full, as well as all past Limitless Wrestling events as well. I think over 40-plus events there from Limitless Wrestling. You can sign up, use the promo code Limitless. It gets you a 5-day free trial.
Yeah, it does. You can go back. When are we putting out the Best of John Alba DVD?
Is it just going to be the failed star searches?
Failed star searches?
I could get that together.
Man, the guy I picked for my first star search has been on AEW TV in like 5 consecutive weeks.
Okay. That's fair. But how did he do for you?
Just because they failed doesn't mean that I picked bad talent.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
got
mean,
no
at
response.
the time, I don't know how to justify it for you, because I just think all the star searches ended up pretty rough in the end.
You gave me props every single time I picked one of these talents. You're like, that's a good pick. And just because they lost, that ain't on me, bro. That ain't on me.
Okay.
I got my star now. I found my star.
Okay.
I don't need no other star searches. I found mine. And you know what, Randy? When I win that second Emmy, I cannot wait to double fist that thing in your face.
Are you going to be double fisted Emmys moving forward?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You think Owen Hart?
When do we know? When are we going to know about this second Emmy?
We're gonna find out December 12th.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. And you think Owen Hart had a good gimmick going? Well, that was a gimmick. This is reality.
Wow. That's a real heel move. Stunting on Owen Hart?
I'm not blasting Owen Hart. I'm just saying I got a podcast called Living the Gimmick. And by God.
I've known since day one you lived the gimmick.
And by God, am I doing it with Mac Daniels here. Anyway, anything else you want to hit on here on this return episode of the Limitless Wrestling Podcast, Randy?
Well, be on the lookout. If you have not seen the 5-year anniversary show, that's coming to IWTV probably by the time this drops.
It's
also
really
be
good.
On the lookout. What's that?
It's really good. There was a lot of love put into that episode, and I'm just really glad that we got a lot of fans who are super into it.
Me too. I think it was just a lot of fun to reminisce, because I mean, it's been such a tough year for everybody, and to have we have so many fun moments that really mean a lot to so many people. So to be able to sit down, talk about so many of those in one sitting, I think it was really nice for all of us, and it was really nice for the Limitless fans. I got a lot of messages after that were people who were just honestly grateful to see our faces again, talking about wrestling. I think it was pretty cool. I would also say look out for Black Friday sales. I'm not just going to run them on Black Friday. I always run them early. So I think we're probably starting within the next week. We're going to have sales that run until the end of the month. So if you're looking to get any Christmas shopping done, that'll be the time to do it because almost everything on the site will be discounted. One thing that will not be discounted that just got added to the website, it's the last run of the newest series of Limitless Wrestling trading cards. We will be having a new set for 2021. So if you want to get your hands on those, you can grab them right now, limitlesswrestling.com.
Tremendous. That does it for us here. We'll see you next time.